There we go, there we go. If I shake it, you can probably see it. So it's been 6,000 miles since the last oil change on the Mustang. I actually just got one right now, which means it also has been 6,000 miles since we have installed the J&L oil separator. So I'm really kind of curious how much difference it has made or how much oil it has collected in the time I've installed it. For my Mustang, we actually went ahead with just the passenger side, which is going to be right here, instead of the driver's side. People say you can go with the driver's side, but I want to go just with the passenger side because that's the most useful one. If you do track your Mustang, it is recommended you get the driver's side as well. So we have only the passenger side, and I'm just curious how much oil has been collected since the last oil change. Like I said, I want to say it's been about 6,000 miles or so since my last oil change, so it is a good bit of time, and that was my original plan, to really check each oil interval. So let's bring the car inside the garage and let's get to work. All right, so now that we got the car inside the garage, we're gonna go ahead and pop the hood and see how much oil has been collected in the J&L oil separator on the passenger side. Honestly, I haven't had the car in the garage for so long. I kind of like it. The reason I don't have it is because of this exhaust. Even though I pretty much always have it in quiet start mode, it still has a really good rumble, which I like it, but I don't want to annoy my neighbors or even my household by just shaking the entire house. And you guys also know the issue where if I do start it in quiet start mode, for some reason the Corsa valves actually flap open and out, which means that even though it's in quiet start mode, I start up for a split second, the valves are open, so there's like a very loud cold start and then it shuts it back down. And it sometimes happens, sometimes it doesn't happen. So I feel that's just risky having the car in the garage, and if it's loud, that's not gonna be good. But yeah, so let's go ahead and pop up the hood and see how much oil has been collected in that oil separator. I'm really curious. I got the passenger side because everyone recommended it for these 5.0s. I did not want to get it for driver's side because that was basically, if you really track the car, it's necessary, otherwise you don't really need it. But let's see if even the passenger side was worth it. Hard to do it with one hand. Yeah, can't really do it. That is one thing that the 2024s got right, is having those hood struts. It's just such a lifesaver not having to deal with this. You know what, today, before I even do that, I need to clear this. I know it's a daily driver, so it gets a lot of leaves, but this is just absurd. Look at that. Yeah, let's go ahead and clean that up first before we look at the oil separator. Alright, so here is the after. I can probably get a powerful vacuum, but it looks much better than what it did before. It was pretty much clogging up all the vents, which means the drainage could have been an issue. So I'm glad I saw that and fixed it. Alright, so let's look at the J&L oil separator on the car. So this is the one we installed. I do have installation video if you want to learn how to install it. It should be pretty easy, very easy to follow directions. But this is what it's supposed to be. If you do get the driver's side, obviously it's going to be on this side, but we just have the passenger side. I wonder if I need to install it, I had to take the whole thing out, but I think I can probably empty it from here. But that would be kind of, it just wouldn't make sense to open the whole thing up just to be able to maintain it. It is at a very awkward angle, but I can reach and actually twist it counterclockwise. It's coming off. There we go, there we go. Have to be very careful. There is some oil. Oh boy. So this is how much it caught. I don't know if you can tell. It's about a quarter way through. That is a good bit of oil to be collected. If I shake it, you can probably see it. But yeah, well, I want to say close to half actually. Close to half is what is collected. Jeez. So yeah, I guess if you were wondering, the passenger side oil separators are useful. This is the one I personally run on my car, GNL passenger side oil separator. So let's go ahead and empty this one out. I wonder if I can overexpose it to really show it to you. I think that's the best I can do. You can see that is a lot. I honestly did not expect it in only 6,000 miles. Like, I thought it would be bare minimum and I really won't notice it, but this is surprisingly a lot. So 6,000 miles, no track days, one drag strip run, driven like how Mustangs should be driven, but nothing too aggressive really. So if I had left it for like 10,000+ miles, it actually would have been full and actually coming off. So if you do have one and you haven't changed it yet, I would say probably check every 5,000 miles just to be on the safe side so there's no spillovers. All right, so we finally got it emptied out. You can see, pretty empty now. I did notice a scratch over here too. I don't remember dropping it when I first installed it or even when taking it out. But yeah, it's emptied out now. We're gonna go ahead and put it back on the car and we're gonna check it back again in, I don't know, 6,000 miles. I do like it that they make it very easy. I've never had a catch can on a car, so maybe they're all supposed to be like that. But I was kind of expecting having to take the engine cover off and then be able to access it. But this is good that I can just access it straight from here and then put it back on. So let's go ahead and put it back on. Now this is going to be very important. So I did put it on, but because the angle is very awkward, as you can see, you want to make sure it's fully tightened and you don't just leave it, because of course, if you don't, then you're gonna have a lot of oil spill over. So I'm gonna go ahead and hand tighten it. Okay, I think that should be good. Don't overdo it so you don't run into a problem when you're actually taking it out. But yeah, I'm so glad that the GNL oil separator actually works like it's supposed to. It's not one of those gimmicks. That's what I kind of thought it was going to be, that if you're not tracking your car or running it to the drag strip, you're not really going to notice much of a difference, and I might have a drop or two to really deal with. But this was, as you guys saw, half of it. I'm kind of curious if the driver one is also going to be helpful. Most people say it's only for track use, so maybe once I start tracking it, I can use it. But this is, let this be your PSA. If you don't have one on your Gen 3 Coyote, again, I don't track this car. I've taken it to drag strip once since I've put this on, but it was kind of surprising to have it almost half of it filled with the oil. So yeah, I would definitely recommend you get the GNL, or honestly any oil can for your Gen 3 Coyote. Obviously that's the one I have. It's really good. It's a really great build quality. I love it. It feels really good and it's doing its job, as you saw. So that's what I would recommend, but just having any catch can for this Gen 3 Coyote is going to be helpful. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'll catch you in the next video, and if you haven't done so, make sure you are subscribed to Red 50 for more videos.